so for our playroom in our house, it's a part of our home, as Prudence saw in our last home, that is really important to our family. It's where we spend a ton of our time. We love spending time together as a family, playing together, doing puzzles, artwork. So I wanted to make sure that the playroom had a ton of creative energy and a lot of youthful energy, but at the same time had an elevated style that really went with the style of the rest of the home. So we didn't want it to seem too kid-like or basic or destructible. Some people like to make playrooms really more kid-centric in the materials used, and I wanted it to be a room that could really grow with our family, and I'm kind of obsessed with how it turned out.
I wanted to bring in a sophisticated style for Eva and her family because her kids will grow one day and they do spend a lot of time in that room, so I wanted them to treasure it for a long time. But I also wanted it to be colorful and playful, but in a way that was more chic than childlike. So I really looked at the space as a whole, but looking at the fireplace as an identifier and knowing that that should be black, and then playing on the light and dark aspect of design and the color pops.
Figuring out the layout of the room so that it was functional, i.e. the kids could watch TV in there and eat in there, and we could have a pull-out couch in there, but that all of the elements really work together for the flow of the room instead of trying to force play space and creative space into an area where, it didn't seem like it belonged.
Yeah. I think another design challenge in terms of picking the fabrics and the colors was knowing that the floor was going to be whitewashed, but not knowing exactly what that tone would be. And so kind of putting that in my head and then picking the wallpapers and the color story that would work best with the floor because it was brown before.
We also had a lot of shifts towards the end of the design process, I feel like, with that room, where we originally thought certain colors and patterns would work really well in there, and then once they were in, we were like, oh, actually,
yeah,
this isn't working.
Totally.
So that was really interesting too, to get creative with the elements that we had already bought and purchased, and to kind of figure out how we were going to shift things around so that the flow and so that the harmony was better in there. I think was also, that's always interesting when everything arrives.
Yeah, totally.
And you're like, oh,
wait, that doesn't really work like we thought it was.
Yeah, or I thought it was bigger or smaller or a different color or whatever. But it was interesting, but I just love now. It's so colorful, it's so playful. I just think there's so many elements in there that really speak to who we are as a family.
Absolutely, I agree. Yay! I think one of my favorite design elements is definitely building the banquette. Mm-hmm. I think that's really wonderful and something that they will use for years to come, but I absolutely am in love with the fruit dove drapes from Vernacular and the little sits. Chairs that were custom made for you. I think those are incredible.
And I think in particular, just that banquette, and just really not be able to imagine the room now without that banquette. It is so beautiful the way it just brings everything together and really creates a space that we will be using for years to come, and when even the kids are grown. So that's amazing. And I also am just obsessed with how the Kerri Rosenthal wallpaper and using the inverse on the bookshelves really brings together the entire space. I think it just is so beautiful, and I love just kind of the black and white concept in there that ties everything together, as well as the Sarah Otts portraits. So those portraits are I just love them. I think it's incredible what she does to somehow have these abstract representations of my kids that just really, even though they don't have faces, truly represent the essence of my kids. Like, you can look at them and tell who they are. And so as an art collector, I think those are pieces that we'll have forever in our family, and that's really special.